Hello guys, welcome to .NET Gyan India YouTube channel. So today we will going to discuss about the code first approach in .NET Core application using entity framework. So we will going to set up an entity framework uh, in your application and creation of DB, creation of models, everything we will going to discuss in this video. So let's start the implementation. So we will create a model project for models first. It is always recommended to create a different project for the your data access layer, and for that we need to add a project to this solution. So I am just adding it. Create a new project. Click on class library. Click next. Then give name models example, then click on next and then select a preferred target framework and click on create button. The project is created. Now we will add one class. We need to for uh, implementing the entity framework, we need to have some of NuGet packages to be installed. So we will install some NuGet packages for entity framework first. So we will install that first. While we are installing, you can subscribe, share this YouTube channel. So anybody is willing to learn this .NET framework uh, and entity framework, you can share the channel to them. So now we will add entity framework core. The version would be for my case it's a 3.1.27 because my .NET Core version is 3.1. So it's supporting only this up to this version. So I am installing this one 3.1.27. Click on OK button. I accept. It is now installed. Now next package is entity framework core relational. This package we will install. Same, the version would be 3.1.27 and I will installing that version. Accept. It is also installed. So now next NuGet package you need to have with models is Microsoft Entity Framework Core .SQL Server. We will select 3.1.27 version and click on install button. It is time, little bit taking time. Next package would be Microsoft Entity Framework Core .tools. We need to have these tools for managing the migrations. It have a migration support, so we will install this. It will required in the next step. So I am installing this also in the models. It's installed now. So you can see that we have added packages, four packages we have added: Microsoft Entity Framework 4, Relational, SQL Server, and .tools. Okay, the next our next requirement is to add a DB context to communicate with the DB using Entity Framework. So we will add class called sample DB context. In that we will first make it public, then we will add DB context. We will import DB context, means inherit context class in it, then add necessary namespace Microsoft Entity Framework 4. Then we need to create a constructor for it. So we will create a constructor sample. Just copy this class name and then import DB context option. Create a and then send it to base. Send this object to base options. It requires for one-time activity. This is a one-time activity, so we'll just and we can fine-tune the DB context behavior in this object. So then next our DB context class is ready. So now we will add one sample model in this class, or you can modify this also. This employee, make this sample class to employee object. Yes, this is the model class is ready. Now we will add certain properties to it. So click on prop, click on tab, then create ID column, add column attribute, import namespace schema, then name the column. What would be the DB column name should be, you can mention here. So in my case it's ID. So same way I can add multiple columns as per my need. So I am creating several columns, string, then I should be the name, I'm creating another one, address. Okay, so for as of now we can go with these three columns. Then we need to give a table name. What table name should be there in DB for this entity? So we will mention here, in my case employee master. So this is model we have created now. The model and DB context is ready. Now we need to add reference of this model example to our MVC project. So we will add the reference, you can say project reference, then select model example and click on OK button. Now project reference is ready. Now we need to add certain packages in your MVC project also to work with the entity framework. So we will add certain packages here as well. So for that you need to go to manage NuGet package, click on browse, then search the entity framework, then you need to install entity framework core. The version is same 3.1.2.27. In my case, if you are working with Visual Studio 2022, then you can go for 6.0 as well. So it is installed now. Now the next package should be a SQL Server. Same 3.1.27. Click on OK and click on OK. Accept. The next is design. Design 3.1.27. Click on install. Click on OK. Accept the agreement. So okay, so the necessary new dependent new is installed in MVC project. Now we need to add connection string. So I have already added the connection string. You can see the database name I have mentioned sample database, but we can change it to example DB. Click on save button. So you can see that there is a node DB name with that example DB. So now we will use this connection string. We need to initialize the DB context object. So for that we need to use the service object, add DB context, sample DB context, which we have created in models project. So we are just using that DB context for initializing. So now it is imported. Now just create a lambda object, then that object dot use SQL server. So use SQL server, import the namespace. One second. Entity framework 4. Then you just need to provide a connection string. So we will use configuration object to get the connection string from the app setting.json. In our case connection string, so we will just copy it from here so that no typo error will be there. So it's copied. Now the DB context object is initialized. Now the next step is to create a migration. So for migration you just need to go to view, then go to other windows, and then click on package manager console. So in this menu we will be going to do a migrations. Okay, so next is you just need to select the model, on which model you are going to use the migration. Okay, so now you just need to enter one command, add migration, and you need to mention the migration name. So I will mention initial database creation. Okay. Then hit the enter. Now it will build the project and create database migration for us. So build succeeded. Okay, why it is not coming? Because we have not added uh, the model into DB context, so we will add it. So for two other now the uh, this is not the migration we are looking for, so uh, we can remove this migration using another command. I will show you. Remove command, remove migration. So it will remove this earlier migration for us. So we did one mistake, that we have not added that model into DB context. So DB context doesn't know about that model. So that's why it created empty migration. So now we will add it. So we will correct the mistake. Just for adding, DB set. Then you just need to mention the model name, employee, and this employees. Oh, sorry, that's typo error. Employees. So now we have added our models to DB context. Now we can try again with that migration. Add migration. So again it will build the project and check if any thing added in the DB context and create a migration. Now you can see that the migration is created for employee entity with the table name employee master with uh, mention column model. So now we will fire one. This is just a migration. It is not yet committed to database. So committed to database, we need to uh, enter one command, update database here. What this will do is, whatever changes in this migration, it will uh, commit to the mention database in the connection string. So if there is no database created, then it will create database for us and it will run this migration into that DB. I can show you the DB once the update database command completes. So it is migrating changes to DB. Now it is done. So now we will go to database and refresh the database. So you can see that the example DB is created with that command, and the table which we have created, employee master, is also created with the design, whatever design we have mentioned, ID, name, address with data type. So okay, 1 minute. The database is completed now. You also can see that EF migration history uh, table is created. What this table is for is that whatever migration we run, it persists in this table. It will track all the migration in this table. If there is a new migration is created and it is not in this table, then it will uh, fire that migration to the DB. Otherwise, it will means this is the just a uh, track tracking of entire migrations. So we have created migration named initial database creation. It have created the migration entry in this table. So whatever another migration, if I create another table and I just added migration, then it will fire that migration and add one entry in this table. So this table is very important to manage the migrations. The .NET Core entity framework does it for us automatically, so we do not need to care or take care of it. So that's it. Now the migration is created, table is created. Now you can see that how we can uh, set up a code first approach in a .NET Core application using entity framework. So this is what for this video. We will create another video where we can I will show you that how can we use these entities to storing and fetching the data from table. uh, so we will meet in another video to uh, show that. Thank you for watching the tutorial at .NET Gyan India YouTube channel. Please subscribe to the channel for the regular updates. Thank you.